What if we designed WalkMe experiences not just to guide users, but to surprise them a little? A WalkMe experience is like this puzzle. When we think about guidance, we think about clarity, and that's really important. The steps are correct, the logic works. But sometimes something still feels a little incomplete, like there's a missing piece. What if adoption wasn't just about getting people through a process, but creating a moment where they pause and think, oh, that's interesting? When you think about the WalkMe experiences that stayed with you, maybe for a few weeks or even for months, they are not memorable because they were efficient. They are memorable because they made you feel something. Joy, surprise, curiosity. That's the missing piece. That's what makes an experience dazzling. And here's the best part. You already have everything you need in your WalkMe editor. All the building blocks are already with you. Over the past year, we worked on 3 very different projects. But they all came to life when we asked a different question. What's the missing piece? Let's take a look. Project Foolish Fundraising was on April Fool's Day. This is a light-hearted day of jokes and surprises. How do we use an April Fool's joke to solve a problem? Every year, employees receive donation credits from the company to donate to a social service organization. But this is often missed. A very small percentage of employees use their credits by the end of the year. The information is not complicated, but the real question is, how do we get their attention to this in a fun way? Instead of adding more messaging, we just added a couple of very intentional pieces. The first missing piece was breaking the pattern. We did something just unusual enough for users to pause, because they don't usually see this in WalkMe experiences. The second piece was playfulness. After we had their attention, we leaned into the fact that this was an April Fool's Day joke. We let the experience feel light and clearly intentional. Here, you see WalkMe pointing to our AI chatbot. The message says, tip your AI, which is odd. If the user clicks on any of these options, they are redirected to an actual donation portal where we reveal this was just an April Fool's Day joke. But since they are already there, we encourage them to use their donation credits. We took a moment of surprise and used it for something meaningful. And we saw some great engagement. In just one day, $24,000 in donation credits were used. Seeing how much impact a small, playful idea can have, we took that and applied it to our next project, the scavenger hunt. This time, our challenge was the adoption of a new system and new features on an existing one. We generally build walkthroughs and pop-ups explaining what's new and what's changed. But this can start to blend together, and people might skim through it. So how do we make this experience feel like discovery? Again, instead of adding more information, we added a few very intentional pieces. The first missing piece was user-driven exploration. Instead of having users feel like they're being pushed through an experience, we wanted them to choose that experience. So instead of creating something linear, we created a scavenger hunt spanning across 2 systems. The second missing piece was to reward curiosity with a very simple but motivating idea: golden tickets. Collecting each golden ticket represented progress. The third missing piece was to react to user action. We used on-hover animations so that a user action would reveal each golden ticket. We hid 5 golden tickets across 2 systems, but we hid them strategically in places where we wanted to introduce something new. Whenever your user hovered over a golden ticket, it would pop out, and WalkMe information would be revealed. These golden tickets are just WalkMe launchers. They just look different from what we usually see. We also designed it so that users could take any paths they wanted. They could collect the tickets in any order and still get the full experience. And this is how we encouraged them to find out new information through discovery. Once a ticket was collected, WalkMe appeared right there, explaining what's new. During the hunt, we saw a 25% increase in page visits, and more than 6,000 employees participated in it. But more than the numbers, what mattered most was how people talked about it. They were sharing their progress and how many tickets they've collected. And also, they remembered the information they read because they discovered it themselves. If you want to try out your own scavenger hunt, I heard WalkMe has designed one just for Realize. Check out the chat for more information. Once we saw how well our curiosity-driven experience did, we wanted to take it to the next level and create an immersive experience. And that's how we designed the Zoo Takeover. Our company's quarterly event was coming up, and we wanted to spark excitement and curiosity. One of the segments was going to be a partnership with the San Diego Zoo, and animals were going to come live on stage. Instead of announcing this information, what if we let curiosity build up on its own? The first missing piece was immersive theme. We changed our entire home system to look like a zoo with interactive animals, foliage, and get the excitement building. The next piece was temporal design. Instead of revealing the entire experience in one go, we let it build over time, from day one to the day of the experience. On day one, only a few animals appeared with subtle hints. As the days passed by, we added more animals, more movement, and more foliage. Every time a user hovered over an animal, it would reveal a key message tied to the theme of the event. And these animals were just WalkMe launchers designed to animate and respond to user actions differently. On the day of the event, the full zoo experience took over and everything came together. And it really reflected the culture and energy of our company event. As a result of this, we saw a great impact, over 18,000 interactions, and a 32% increase in below-the-fold scrolling. Engagement nearly tripled over 3 days. On the surface, these three projects seem very different, but they were driven by the same shift in perspective. Thinking about how the user will feel when they see them. That's the missing piece. Designing for a feeling. And then you start getting great user reactions like these. If you want to design a dazzling experience, start with one moment. It can be simple. A well-designed moment can be very powerful. Design for a feeling. Design to react. Instead of having users following steps, have your experience react to their actions. And lastly, delight with intention. Have a clear goal in mind. Higher adoption or better value realization. The dazzling experience is now complete.